Today in Luther's Kitchen, I'm making yakisoba, which are Japanese noodles, kind of like Chinese chow mein. So to begin with, I'm slicing a pretty large onion, and then I'm gonna mince some garlic that I'm gonna use for the sauce. I'm trying to pack this with as many vegetables as possible because it's a great vehicle to add a ton of vegetables and a ton of nutrients to your system. So I've got a very small head of green cabbage. You could use Napa cabbage, you could use Savoy cabbage, and again, I'm just thinly slicing that. I'm also going to add some bok choy, which is in the cabbage family. I love bok choy, so a couple of those. And then I'm going to start preparing the soba noodles, just the way it says on the package. I'm boiling some water and I'm dropping the noodles in for them to cook for about 6 minutes in boiling water. And I didn't even put salt in because I noticed that the soba noodles they come seasoned. They already have some salt. I also cut earlier, you may have noticed, some asparagus, and I just cut it on the bias, and I was removing the bottom stem part that's not all that interesting to eat. When the noodles are done, you want to drain them, and I ran cold water over them just to stop the cooking process because I did not want my noodles to turn soggy. The last vegetable that I'm prepping is a carrot. I've got a couple large carrots and I'm just cutting them into chunks instead of shredding them or julienning them, just to give a little more dimension to the vegetable addition to this yakisoba dish. I'm using fresh ginger as a flavoring in the sauce, and the best way to remove the skin off of ginger is to just kind of peel it with a spoon. And once you scrape all the papery skin off with the spoon, you can use a microplane grater to grate it. There really is a difference between fresh ginger and dried ginger, and whenever I make some kind of stir-fry dish, I always opt for fresh. Now that my prep is done, it's time to fire up a wok. So I've got a wok over high heat. I've added a little bit of canola oil, and I'm going to continue to add canola oil with each vegetable addition. So the first vegetable that I'm cooking separately is the onion. And I want to continually stir, hence the term stir fry, the onions because I don't want them to burn or brown. Once they were cooked, slightly brown, I removed them to a bowl, a large bowl. And now I've got in there the asparagus and the carrots to cook. Those got removed once they were softened. And next I've got cabbage, I've got bok choy, and I added some snow peas, which I just trimmed the little ends off so that they look more attractive. There they go. And gave all of that a good toss. Again, all of this is over high heat and it's being done very quickly. Cabbage comes out, a little more oil, and now I added some bean sprouts. Again, this is an amazing vehicle for vegetables. I love Asian noodle dishes because you really can hide a lot of vegetables in the noodles and whatever protein you put in, just so you get that extra nutrition. Once the bean sprouts were done, it was time to cook the chicken. And here is a huge time saver. When I buy chicken on sale, I cut it up into different styles or cuts. Some of it is cut into stir-fry strips, some of it is cut into chunks, and then I bag it and freeze it like that so it's ready for me when I need chicken. Now I'm building the sauce. I'm adding soy sauce. I added oyster sauce. I dropped in the fresh garlic, the minced ginger. I did put a little ketchup in, but I didn't catch that on camera. Followed by Worcestershire sauce, which is a new one for me in a stir-fry, a little sriracha, and a squeeze of honey. The combination of these ingredients made a delicious sauce. I then dropped in the soba noodles, and I didn't use all of them. I did this in stages actually, because I wanted to make sure I had even distribution of chicken and sauce. And instead of using tongs, because I didn't want to scratch my pan, I've got 2 spoons in there. So I'm just trying to toss it all to make sure that the noodles catch all that sauce. You want to flavor the noodles with the sauce. Now my veggies go back in. So again, I've got all the cooked snow peas, I've got the bean sprouts, the cabbage, the onion, carrot, asparagus. I could have put some bell pepper in here, even some peas, whatever you got in the fridge, really. I mean, like I said, this is a great vehicle for vegetables. Give it all a good stir. Make sure you taste it for seasoning. And then just to top it right before service, I've got some fresh cilantro leaves and some scallions. And I should have added, but I thought of it after the fact, some toasted sesame seeds. That would have added a nice little punch. For this recipe and more, visit myclasscancook.com.